Where are they getting these stories from? Moises Caicedo apparently £100 million to Chelsea. What are they talking about? Because it's not £100 million. We've been told on numerous occasions by numerous sources it's £85 million. We will break it down and I'll tell you why this is absolutely nonsense. Then there's stories that apparently Raheem Sterling's future at Chelsea is no longer certain. Callum Hudson-Odoi has been exiled to train with the other group. Kolo Muani apparently is Chelsea's #1 choice, but he costs 150 million euros. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Kavkas View, guys, and now that you got the rundown of what's going to happen in this video, I hope you enjoy it. Kick back, relax, and enjoy your Friday afternoon or whatever day you're watching this in the future. Hit the like button. We're aiming for 1,000 likes. Subscribe to the channel. We're aiming to hit 30,000 subscribers ASAP. We're really close to 28,000, so I'd really appreciate if we get it over the top. But in the pinned comment is my Instagram. Go follow me there. Hit me up with football related questions in DMs, and I usually respond very swiftly, and we build a good community there. But now let's talk about the stories you lot came here. So what I find very interesting is this Moises Caicedo deal is very quiet. And when it's quiet, one thing tends to happen. Fans start to panic, the excitement starts to rise, and more importantly, this is the big one, journalists start searching for stories, and you can really see the ones that are opinion pieces and ones that are actually well sourced and ones that actually have some logic to it. So what have we seen to this point? We've heard that Moises Caicedo has an agreement with De Zerbi and Tony Bloom that he will be leaving Brighton Football Club this summer. He wants to leave and he does not care where he goes, but he just has to leave to go to a better club. So the reality is, Brighton have accepted this, he's re-signed a new contract, and we know where he stands. We've also been told that the fee that Brighton are looking for is £85 million guaranteed. This means the fee needs to be £85 million guaranteed. That payment will have to be the way Brighton want it, and it needs to be structured in a favourable manner. What we're hearing at this moment in time now is a lot of nonsense, and I'm going to explain to you so you guys can find out why it's a lot of nonsense. All we keep seeing now is because the Declan Rice fee's gone to 105, Brighton are going to ask for 100 million, and because of that, Chelsea now and the deal's going to break down. Well, it's not true. Brighton want guaranteed money. Brighton also wants some potential add-ons that could rise to 100 million if they're active. But if Chelsea are willing to do installments that are more favourable to Brighton instead of for them, then the fee could stay at that peak price. It's not very hard to understand, people. If Chelsea pay more of the money quicker, Brighton are going to be happier and reinvest into their squad quicker. Yet, if Chelsea want to drag out the payments and absolutely extend it, they will openly and avidly increase the price to subsidize that loss. And the reality is, and this is the reality, these fees will get paid by our bank club. Chelsea will go to a bank, take the loan, and pay the money in no matter how many installments there are. That's how they'll do it. Then on top of that, Chelsea are going to just repay the loan with a little bit of an interest on top. That is how most deals are done. It's not like Chelsea have 200 million in the bank just sitting there. No, that's not true, and that's not how it happens. So when you start seeing stories like this that are, I'm going to call it what they are, scaremongering, trying to get Chelsea fans to panic and click, don't listen to it. Don't get involved and don't get panicked. Come to the Kavkas View. I've got you guys for reputable, good sources, good stories, and the ones that lie, I tell you straight. This is speaking of nonsense, our good friend Fabrizio Romano, who is very well sourced, he has come out with an opinion piece. This is an opinion piece. I don't care what anyone says. Fabrizio was on camera and he gave his own opinion. This is Fabrizio's opinion, and yet people take it and they run with it. And I think this is the danger that we've got into now. People want Fabrizio, Ornstein, Jacob Steenberg, Ben Jacobs, all of them to come out with news every 15 minutes. Everyone wants to know what's happening right now. Everything needs to be on tap. Everything is on wire. But the reality is, guys, sometimes nothing has changed since the last time. So guess what he's going to do? He's just going to reword his old tweet and put it out there. This time, he's given us an opinion. And this is his opinion. Chelsea, at this moment in time, are looking at strikers. They're looking at Martinez, they're looking at Kolo Muani, and they're looking at, Vlah. They're the three that have been reputably linked on numerous occasions. We all know that. Then he says, Chelsea are keen to try to strike a deal for Kolo Muani, very highly rated within the camp, the Chelsea camp, Pochettino likes him as well, but Frankfurt don't want to sell. Frankfurt believe next year after the Euros, where Kolo Muani is going to be next to Kylian Mbappe, they can demand somewhere close to 150 to 160 million euros. The same amount of money that Napoli's Victor Osimhen is worth, according to De Laurentiis. Yet, people are going around, Chelsea are going to spend 150 million. You just did not listen to what Fabrizio said. Fabrizio actively said, next summer, Frankfurt think he's going to be worth that much. This summer, they're willing to accept somewhere in 80 million. If the bid comes of around 80 million euros, they will seriously consider it. I don't know whether this move should happen. And the reason I say this is because if you think about Kolo Muani's record, right? Last year, very good record. Prior to that, it's been very underwhelming. Very underwhelming. Good link-up player, very mobile, gets around well, holds the ball up. Finishing needs to be improved. I just don't know whether Kolo Muani is the solution to our problem. But at the same time, guys, I've been so scarred with Chelsea number 9s, Torres, Falcao, Pato, Higuain, what's it called? Basically, anyone that's not named Drogba, Demba Ba, or what's it called, Costa, I'm a bit scarred. Even Demba Ba, I think, wasn't fantastic, but at least Demba Ba was fairly adequate. You know what I mean? The rest of them have really caused problems in my lifetime. We haven't had a good, I'm not even going as far back as Hasselbank and Johnson. They were good for us. But I'm talking modern era. Like the modern era, the last 15 to 17 years, right, of Chelsea. Our number 9s have been borderline pathetic. So I'm a bit scarred whenever we sign someone. I'm not going to lie. Now we need to talk about internal problems. And the internal problems right now is people really don't like Raheem Sterling. And I don't understand why. So there's reports coming out that Raheem Sterling is available for a transfer at the right fee. If someone comes to buy Raheem Sterling, Chelsea will consider it. Well, today, nonsense. It came out, it's not true. Raheem Sterling is not for sale. And I'm going to tell you 2 reasons why Raheem Sterling is not for sale. Number 1, Poch loves Raheem. He is the prototypical Poch player. Effective, work rate, can score goals and produce from the wing, actively will run around and may come into the inside forward positions, link up play, and be able to run in behind. He is basically Heung-min Son, but better, in my opinion. That's my personal opinion. Fight me if you want. But, and this is the big but, Sterling ain't going anywhere. Sterling's on 300k, people. 300k for the next 4 years. The contract he got is unbelievable. He got paid lucrative money. Like, to the point, this contract is so good that he couldn't believe his luck, most probably. This contract is stupendously good that he's on. So, any stories you see linking him away from the club, ask yourself, would Sterling leave? And can Chelsea actually afford to lose another experienced player? No, the reality is, Sterling's going to have a bounce back season. Sterling's going to get us around about 12 to 14 Premier League goals. People are going to love him again. And everyone's going to be hunky-dory celebrating Raheem Sterling. Because Raheem Sterling last year took a lot of unnecessary stuff. I think Raheem Sterling came into the club. People had an expectation of we're signing Eden Hazard 2.0. And when he didn't reach those standards, people got upset. Why? You set those standards. No one else did. You said he was going to be the Eden Hazard 2.0. No one else did. You didn't know what we were buying. No one else did. So the reality is, you're in the mud. You're the person that needs to stop setting unrealistic expectations. Because I'm going to say the reality is, again, because the reality is, he is just who he is. This is the Raheem Sterling we've seen for many years. Raheem Sterling is inconsistent in front of goal with his finishing. But Raheem Sterling gets a high frequency of chances, which essentially means he's going to get a lot of goals at the end of the year. So please respect him and please give him a chance. Mauricio Pochettino had a press conference today and he also confirmed that Romelu Lukaku will be returning to Chelsea. He'll be returning to Chelsea around about the 12th to 13th of July. He's most probably going to be training alone. And if he's not going to be training alone, he's going to be training with another batch of camp. So what we have had confirmed is that Callum Hudson-Odoi has been at training, but he's not been training with the first team group. He has been training with the second group. We don't know who this second group is, who's in there, but we know Callum Hudson-Odoi is there. This is a bad sign for Cho. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, the fact that he's not even given a chance to come in and impress Pochettino doesn't sit very right with me. I think it's unfair, but I do understand that this is most probably One, Poch's request that he only wants to work with people that have a future at the club. And two, the club doesn't want to overpopulate training. Like, the reality is you can't have 40 players at training. Like, it just does not work. We saw it last year in pre-season. We saw it last year during the season. We heard people were changing in the locker room, like outside the locker rooms. That's crazy for me. So the reality is we need to be very considered with what players are going to be leaving. They are saying that potentially Callum Hudson-Odoi could be getting bought out of his contract. Chelsea are asking him to take a half a pay cut. I don't know what's going to happen. We don't know the full extent of the stories. In the long run, it's going to be very interesting to see how this ages, because I promise you, if Callum Hudson-Odoi goes somewhere else, he will get a lot more money than 60k. Guys, this was the Kavkas View. A little bit of a quiet news day. We'll see what we can deliver tomorrow. Oh, and finally, a lot of you really enjoyed the Enzo, the 2030 project video. I'm going to tag that at the very end for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about. It's basically me discussing what Chelsea's plans are and how Chelsea came through, like, and what they're going to build in the future with Todd Bowley. It's very insightful, very interesting. Go and watch it if you haven't seen it. It's going to be at the end. There's another video that I want to release, and I think I'm going to release it either tomorrow or either Sunday, depending on the news. But I want to gauge interest. Last time, you guys gauged a lot of interest. Do you want the video I've got in my head is called the best 11 that Chelsea produced from Cobham. So if all of them stayed in the last 10 to 15 years, not excluding John Terry and all them lot, the last 10 to 15 years, the Chelsea players that have been produced, what's the best starting 11? 1 to 11. And the reason I want to do this is because it's very evident the areas we're really good at producing and the areas we're really lacking. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if there's some interest for it. And if there is, more than happy to make the video. In the comments, let me know Cobham's best XI in the comments below, and then I'll know. So Cobham XI, just comment that. Peace out, I'm out, have a lovely day.